Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we are going to be talking about resource saving by Google. Why is this happening and what resources are being cut down on? We will be talking about things like something that happened to us very, very recently, reducing the crawled page size or removing manual reviewers, lowering our crawl budget, all these good things that are happening to us lately. Why is this happening and how is this impacting our SEO? First of all, we are seeing lots and lots and lots of changes, okay, where Google is just taking away from SEO. So we are being given less and less resources by Google, less and less information. And that means that if you are doing the good SEO approach, not parasite, not canonical trick, not drop domains, if you are doing the long-term whitehead SEO, this means your SEO needs to be in point, needs to be the best ever. You cannot do vanilla content with AI. You need to have a tone of voice. You need to have some message that you want to convey. You cannot do just scale up link building. You really need to think of the relevancy of the links, of the placement of the anchors. Just your SEO must be the best you ever done. Why is Google saving on us? It's very simple. Running Google is very, very expensive. And I am not saying having a Google campus or paying salaries. None of that. I'm just saying search. Every time I search or you search for anything, Google is Google is paying for this search, right? And it sounds absolutely minimal. It's 0.003 US dollars, which is nothing. But if we put it all together, considering there's 13 to 15 billion searches a day, let's count with the 13, it comes to whopping 49 million US dollars each day. Now we need to remember that there is around 5 trillion searches annually. 5 trillion. Do you know what's the number that Google needs to pay just for you searching how to give a pill to your cat? 14,235 million dollars. Let me repeat it, $14,235 just for us searching. So of course Google is trying to save up on resources when the search itself is not bringing them money. They are making money obviously out of a lot of things, including paid ads. And of course they are trying to sell and sell and sell because, as you can see, it is an expensive game. So what have we seen removed? Google has removed top-level domains. That started spring last year. And basically we used to have google.de or google.it. And Google is moving all of this to google.com. We all know, if we are in SEO, that maintaining more URLs, more dot whatever, it's costly, it's time consuming. So if possible, we all try to sort of make our life easier and put things together, right? Sort of create a one domain if possible. And Google is doing exactly the same. So basically what they are doing, they are showing results based on IP rather than the code that you put on Google when you're searching. And this was a gradual phase out. So we saw it throughout the year. It wasn't from one day to another. It is an automatic redirection. It's a 301. And basically Google claims it was just a cosmetic change and it doesn't anyhow impact your results. Code is a result. So this is how it is. I'm based in Malta. I try to use Google Co-MT for Malta, and you can see I'm being permanently 301 moved to google.com. I personally don't have problem with this change. However, let's be honest, there is apparently no impact on rankings, but if we are doing link building, we still try to give Google the signal that this is French link building or this is for Norway. So we're still playing with the top level domain because we know the localization is important. So I think it doesn't have a huge impact on rankings, but it is definitely a saving exercise for Google. Another one, and this happened to us very, very recently, just February 3rd this year, Google has limited the crawl of a page of HTML file. It used to be 15 megabytes, now it's 2. Don't get me wrong. 2 megabytes of HTML is still huge, right? So have you seen any impact of this? I don't know. I really watched closely, and I think again there would be pages and there would be sites that would be impacted by this, but let's say iGaming affiliate websites, not really. But definitely, it is a saving exercise, right? Because Google is not looking at this much data, but this much data, which means this much data that you're giving Google needs to be crawlable, needs to be accessible, needs to be easy to find via internal links, and needs to be perfectly optimized. So think about what you're serving in these 2 megabytes. Here it's a little like a retouch together from 15 to 2. And basically, yeah, it is just an exercise to Google. Now, this is something that is not confirmed, but I still like to talk about it, removing spam filters. We all know that filters are not filtering. Google will never say that they are removing spam filters. Why? Because it is the backbone of their ranking algorithm. If you read through the leaks that we got, you would discover that, let's say 60% is saying how they are filtering things, how they are trying to fight spam and find the very best result for you. So 60% of the algorithm is filters, apparently. Another 40 is basically pattern recognition. This is how it should behave. Yay, we like it, we rank it. This is breaking my patterns. The spam filters go up and they remove it from the results because it's manipulation. So for example, CTR manipulation, that's a perfect example for this. CTR on position 1, let's say, is 20%, on position 2 is 15, 10, 5, and 3. So it goes down regularly. We know it happens that if you are position 7, the click-through rate is not going to be the same as on position 1. We all know it. So imagine Google's surprise when you manipulate it and on position 70, when the CTR is usually 0, suddenly CTR is 26. Unusual. Now the pattern recognition should flag this and say this is wrong, and the spam filter should filter it out as a bad manipulated result. And this was just a very obvious example because I can put numbers to it, but this should happen with everything, with poor links, parasite SEO, manipulation with like keyword stuffing. But is it really working? In my opinion, filters are for sure not filtering, because if they were, our SERPs would not look like a bloody dumpster. So here you can see parasite and canonical abuse right here. This is Canada. You can see more of parasite behavior right here for UK. This is same story for US. Here is my latest edition. This is Germany. This is just today. So look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 10 are manipulated, heavily manipulated results. And Austria as well. 1, 2, 3, 4 parasites and 1 drop domain and repurpose. None of these are great results, right? Okay, one is Wikipedia, so not exactly a parasite, but it is not answering my user intent. That's why I put it in pink. So yeah, I think filters are definitely off. And now removing manual reviewers. Basically, Google said that they are replacing manual reviewers with advanced AI to save money, right? So you you find an abuse, you send it to manual reviewers. They might review it, they might not. I go to AI. So if it goes to AI, the problem is, do they understand my complaint? Do they flag it out? If yes, great. That is not the problem. Problem is, if you resubmit that you've done all your work and you remove the content and you fixed all of your abuse with links and whatever else you might be flagged for as a manual review, we already talked about it in previous videos, and the AI doesn't understand the fixes and it doesn't remove your penalty, right? And here I found this on this website, is here. So basically, human expert estimated cost, AI estimated cost. Of course, they are removing people, but they can go from 10 euros to 0.05 cents. Dollars to cents. So the saving is massive because there is not just one manual review a month, right? There is tons of them. So automation, of course, is good because it gives us fast processes, but as well, it's not just that, it's as well saving up money on the manual human work. Lowering crawl budgets, this is something that started to happen time ago, but we felt it again in a mid 2025, I think around beginning of August, you suddenly saw drop in crawl budget and Google sort of said like, yeah, and it's sort of something is happening. And then you started to see more of these crawl, not indexed, and discovered currently not indexed pages. There is a difference to them. Obviously, if they are crawled and not indexed, Google found the page, crawled it, and thought, not a good result. I'm actually not going to push it out there and tell people, please look at this great result, because it's not either the content is thin, or I have tons of this type of content already, or it is very similar to another content on your website. Discovered currently not indexed is Google knows there is a part of your website, okay? But they don't even bother to crawl it because you already wasted your crawl budget with crawled, not indexed. So there's a lot of cleaning up that needs to happen here. And basically, this is the moment when you need to think, is this a good result? Am I going to be crawled? Am I going to be indexed? If not, why and how I'm going to improve it? And removing top 100 parameter. Basically, we lost tons of data. This was September last year. You can see a lot of this is happening in last year's only. And Google said it's basically to just like stop counting into the impression all the scraping bots and AI tools and SEO tools. But as well, it says reduce server load, which means saving up on resources once again, right? So there's tons of things that are preventing, like AI data harvesting and API usage, saving. Google is basically giving the SEOs less because we are expensive. So next time you are reviewing your website or preparing a strategy, think of it. If you are doing good SEO, you need to do your best SEO. Thank you very much for listening to me, and I hope it was helpful.